Hey y'all, this is the collector on the corner. I can see Randall's got that tractor going that him and Chris have been working on, because you can see all the smoke. Boy howdy, it's pretty smoky. Oh, and Randall made a fence right there to keep the sheep away from the fruit trees and baby chickens and all that. Oh God, here he comes. Look at it. At least he'll kill all the skeeters in the yard. I won't have to worry about them. But I guess it's running okay for a smoker. I hope you can see the smoke, because it's pretty good. Oh, and there's Randy, or should I say Grandpa, drinking his tea and just moving along on his old smokemobile. Hey, maybe I could hire him out to go uptown and run around in Pocahontas and kill the skeeters. Because I'm sure he'd do it. Hey, boy, howdy, I see him roll there for a second. You don't need it rolling off, darling. He can't hear me. Maybe it doesn't. Oh, boy. Hey. It's not smoking near as well. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I see it. Well, look at that. It almost quit smoking.
It's still smoking even after it ain't running.
Is it smoke signals?
Well, I'm bringing this around here is so I can get to it with the pressure washer.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to let the boy pressure wash it off.
Mm-hmm.
And we still got to put a fan belt on it.
Yeah.
And it still ain't doing much on that number 3 cylinder. And as you can see,
Yeah, I know it's
still got blow by.
Uh-huh.
Maybe we need to hook a PCV valve up on it.
And it also ain't got a
No, I got the cap for the radiator. It's got water in it. It's not all that hot. Wait, you can see the
goober head. You don't poke your finger in hot water.
Profile. We got them case tires and wheels on there.
Oh boy, sweet.
26s rather than
It's round and black. That's good enough for me.
28s rather than 36s.
Oh, okay.
But they're round black holding air. That's all we care about.
That's right.
This is the older tractor because it don't have the flat headlights. You see the back of the headlights instead of being rounded. It's flat. But this tractor's got something on it that no tractor I've ever owned had before.
Okay, was that you that was riding it?
2 things.
You and me.
This little light right here, I think it originally had a red lens on it. Where when you went down the road, you had a tail light at night. And it's got this shield here. It's all beaten bollocks to pieces for the PTO.
Yep, that's a good thing.
But
I like your butts.
I think it's redundant. I'm taking it off. We ain't ever had a tractor with one of them on it.
But I could paint it red or blue or green
the thing about
purple.
it is, there's a hole right through there. There's a hole in that shaft.
Oh, and you can't.
And you drop a pin through that shaft a lot of times on a lot of stuff I got.
And you can't get it in
and you
there.
Can't get at it easy. You can't see it because this is in the way.
Well, there's a hole right there.
But
I can find it.
In my opinion, that ain't gonna make it any more safer or less safe. That being on there or being off of there. Because we've always had a rule. My daddy impressed it on me when I was little, and I impressed it on my boys and my grandkids. You don't never get out of the seat of this tractor.
Unless you turn it off.
Unless that PTO is out of gear and has stopped. You don't walk around here when that PTO is on and turning. You don't get anywhere near that PTO.
What if you can't put it like the brake on, like you did, and run over me?
And Daddy told me a story about somebody we know.
Go ahead, ignore me.
Man we know.
Yeah.
Another man.
Yeah.
This one guy was going to go out to his farm and pheasant hunt. And he went up there and stopped at the house and talked to his wife. And she said, yeah, he's down at the barn out there unloading grain buggy in the grain elevator, grain storage. And he walked out there and that tractor was sitting there running. And that fella was on that PTO, wasn't nothing but a ball of meat. And old Frank, the guy who found him, went up there and shut the engine off. Walked on back. Didn't even stop at the house or nothing. Went on down there and called the police and left. And my dad's told me that story. And her brother got his arm in the corn picker.
Yeah, my brother did.
And I think he had a big watch on or something.
Yeah.
And it stalled it out. But you just.
But Daddy had always told him to turn it, disengage it, and what happened is it clogged up and wasn't running, so he just didn't think.
If you'll make sure you don't ever get off the seat of that tractor, that PTO stops spinning. You'll never get caught in that PTO. And that's the only safe way I know. You can't make it safe by
I can tell you a safe way. Don't have a PTO back there.
What?
Don't have a PTO back there. That's even safer.
Right there. How it goes on and off.
That's what I said. Just
it's in gear right now.
Don't have a PTO. Then you ain't got to worry.
All you got to do, you're just sitting right there in the seat. And all them.
Reach down and.
I don't know of any tractor that you've got to get off to disengage the PTO. But that's one rule that I want to press on everybody to tell their kids and do it themselves. Don't never leave that seat of that tractor.
Unless you reach behind you and turn that sucker off.
Kick that PTO along unless you're sitting in the seat and got your foot on the clutch.
Okay.
You know, even them live PTOs, you know, the clutch won't do you no good to clutch them.
Is that why you don't let me drive tractors and stuff?
What? No.
Because I don't.
You can drive tractor if you want.
I don't.
You want to drive this tractor?
Heck no. I don't like skinny front ends. I like wide.
Well, we got some more work to do to her. I made a battery box. Look here.
Yeah, I seen your battery box you were making.
What that is, that's the transmission plan off of a Cruise-O-Matic transmission from a 59 Ford.
Well, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I ground out a couple little slots in it and drove it down there. It fits pretty tight. It works good. Cheap enough.
I still kind of maybe wire it.
Matches me and the rest of the tractor.
So it matches the color or the patina.
But we got to fix a gas tank for it. I got an old cement mixer.
That's the tiny gas tank, boy. You ain't.
I've got a gas tank.
You ain't going You ain't going nowhere in that.
I got a little cement mixer over there.
Yeah, I see.
And what I'll do is put that gas tank in that cement mixer.
Does that cement mixer work?
Yes, it does.
Then why are you farting with it?
I'm going to put a gas tank in it.
A gas tank?
I'm going to put a dirty gas tank in there and put a bunch of square nuts in there.
Oh, and turn it on and
turn it on and let it bang around in there and knock everything loose. And when I get done, I'll have all kinds of holes in there if it's too rusty. This little tank here lasts us.
Why don't you just tie it to the back of
holds a gallon.
Back of the kid's bicycle and let them run it up and down the road out there?
But anyway.
Yeah, any rate.
We got it running, sort of. I'm
gonna
turn the gas off.
I seen it smoking. If that's running, oh boy, do you know how much that costs?
Yeah.
And it's
apparently I've got trash on the needle valve of that new carburetor.
Leaking out of your new carburetor too. I don't like that.
Apparently I got trash on the needle valve, but. All I got on is a little settlement bulb. I should have put a real good filter in here, and I didn't do it.
Well,
that was my fault. I'll have to take that carburetor apart and blow it out now.
I got some coffee filters in there if you want to. Coffee. Does this wrench belong up there? Is that?
Well, yeah, that's a good place to keep it. See?
Oh.
I found that in the toolbox of this tractor.
Oh.
That was in that hole in the back.
Oh.
Been there a while, ain't it?
Mm.
But such as it is.
Whatever you say, dear.
This is our $300 tractor.
Mm-hmm.
And we still ain't spent a lot of money on it, you know.
Are you, what is dripping up there? Water?
Yeah. It's got a
hole in it?
No, it boiled over.
Oh. Well, will you quit
water,
playing
I filled
with
it as full as I could of water,
Uh-huh.
and when it expanded, it went over the top.
Looks to me like, no, it looks to me like it's linking right down.
It might be dripping out of that
I think it's
real good hose.
Yeah, I think it's dripping out of your rotten hose.
That hose is probably as old as I am, because this tractor's old as I am. This tractor's a 1951, and I'm a 1951 model.
Oh, jeepers.
So that makes it, you know,
so
close to 72 years old.
So when I sell this tractor, you go with it?
If you want.
Well, they'll need a mechanic for it, because it's a piece of junk.
They'll need somebody to run around with a pocket full of wrenches to keep it going every round when it quits.
Yeah, like Leon is always adjusting his chainsaws. You'll be always adjusting the tractor.
Anyway, I'm kind of tickled with the buy.
I'm not.
I'll get to the lad out here tomorrow. First of all, the clutch don't seem just right, and there's a bit of, I took this cover off under. There's a bunch of dirt up in that tube. It's called a torque tube, and there's a bunch of mud wasp nests.
See, you could have tucked that $300 and made me a chicken house.
But I got my little pressure washer and was using it for something the other day. But we ain't made a video in a couple of weeks, so I thought I'd make one. So that's a video.
Okay.
The only story I got is
yeah.
I got a bunch of pigeons up at the house. There's so many pigeons there, some of them nesting on the ground now.
Because you got too many pigeons.
Yeah, I got too many. And I went up there during the middle of the day, you know, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And there was a big old black snake in there. He was eating a pigeon.
Yep, eating your pigeon.
He had one lump inside of him, he had another and had his head swallowed. I brought him over here and showed Debbie. And I dispatched him, made a good snake out of him, made sure he didn't come back and do that no more times. And it wasn't an hour later. I went back up there and looked, and there was a second one, not quite as big as that first one. That first one about 5 foot long. This other one's about 4 foot long. And it was eating eggs. It was eating, swallowing pigeon eggs. So I dispatched it.
And you killed my trained snakes.
But anyway,
I had trained them to go up there and help thin the herd.
Then we had something getting chickens at night.
Oh, jeepers, yep.
It tore into a cage, got in there,
got a bunch
killed
of
a bunch of chickens.
Bunch of our little teenager chickens. Made me mad.
The next night I put them little chicken carcasses in a different box over there, and I put 2 traps inside of it. In the morning I went out, I had a great old big male coon. Had him caught by both front paws.
Yep.
So, but that's the way it always works out. If you got a place and you got livestock or a garden or anything like that, there's always some wild animal that will leave the woods and come down to your place looking for an easy meal. You know, instead of going out hunting for rats or, you know, whatever.
Mice.
But just like that coon.
Snakes.
As soon as your sweet corn starts getting in the dough stage and getting ready to be picked, that coon will come in there and they'll tear them all up.
That's why you're going to sleep in the cornfield.
And all that stuff.
Ain't that right?
So you got to stay after them varmints if you live out in the country. A lot of people may not believe that, but
oh, you do.
That's the reason that we got a high enough fence around this area. Deer don't jump in here and eat our stuff. We don't have problems with deer, but a lot of people have problems with deer eating their gardens up. And I guess that'll be it for this, and we'll say goodbye and good luck to you. I ain't got no real mean story to tell today.
Thank goodness.
I've got some, but I can't tell it.
Well, thank you all, and y'all have a nice night, and Please like and subscribe and comment below. Bye!